Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of TileTV. My name is Matt. I'm one of the trainers for the National Tile Contractors Association. No matter what your role is within the tile industry, safety should be a concern for you and the people around you. That being said, today I'd like to talk briefly on a subject that can potentially be dangerous, but also impact the longevity of your tools, ultimately costing you more money. That's extension cord safety. We all know that misused or damaged extension cords can cause electrical shock to our body, resulting in what could be a serious injury. In the same way, the use of damaged or the wrong extension cord could also be damaging our expensive power tools. Let's take a look at selecting the right cord for our job. When buying a cord, we want to read the label. In doing this, we're looking at a few different things. You'll find it will say light duty, medium duty, heavy duty. Well, we want heavy duty cords which are rated for construction use. You'll also see it will say indoor or outdoor. Outdoor is going to be a better choice with everything us tile guys put them through. Then you'll notice these numbers, 16, 14, 12, 10. That's the gauge of the cord. Let me try to explain this a little bit. The lower the number, the bigger the gauge, and the greater the amperage and wattage is. So how do we know which one we need? Most power tools will come with a label or a tag similar to this one. They're permanently attached to the tool and it looks similar to this. The label here tells me that this saw pulls 14 amps. That means the smallest cord I would want to use is a 14 gauge. You will also notice, looking at this chart, that the longer the cord, the less power I will receive at the female end of the cord. So using this saw as an example, using the 14 gauge is okay at 50 feet, but too small at 100 feet. Using a cord too small means we're putting strain on the power tool, affecting its performance and possibly shortening its life. Also, that's just the wet saw we're accounting for right now. What about when we add in lights and a vacuum and a drill and a grinder and all these different tools that we need to do our job, and they're all pulling power from the same extension cord? Well, after figuring out how much power each of those tools actually require, you may find yourself needing a 12 or even a 10 gauge cord, a bigger one, to do the job properly and supply enough power to your tools. The length of the cord is also important. If we need power, say 100 feet away, we want to get a 100-foot cord. We don't want to use 4 25-foot extension cords. Each connection can result in a loss of power. In the same way, if we only need to be 15 feet away, we don't want to get a 100-foot cord and leave it coiled up in between our work area. Pick the right cord for the job. After selecting the right extension cord for the job, OSHA requires a daily inspection of the cord. This can easily be done at the beginning of the day while running the cord to our work area. So instead of just throwing it, we could set it down, we can place it, and as we're placing it where we need it, we're going to visually inspect it, not dragging it around, but we're going to place it, visually inspect it, and we're going to run our hands across it. And we're feeling for damage to the cord. We're looking for things like cracks and cuts and burns or any exposed wire. We want to make sure to place the cord in such a way that it's not a tripping hazard on our job site, right? I'm going to take a look too at the ends of the cords. We're going to inspect them for signs of melting, burns, making sure the metal ends are not bent or missing the ground on them. We're also going to look at the ends for separation from the cord to the plug. If you find any of this damage, the cord should not be used. Mark it in such a way that others you're working with will know it's damaged and not grab it off the truck. A lot of the time, these cords, they can be cut at the damaged section of the cord and fixed by a qualified individual. I've got a few here that I'm going to drop off to a friend that is an electrician, and he'll get them back in working order. On construction sites, we're required to be plugging into a GFCI, a ground fault circuit interrupter. It's a specialized outlet with a built-in breaker. These devices are designed to prevent shock in an event that electrical device comes in contact with water. Check the outlet you're using, and if it is not a GFCI, you could use maybe something like this. We want to just read the label from the manufacturer and make sure we know where and how to use it properly. One of the biggest arguments among contractors, how to roll up an extension cord properly. Frankly, I don't care how you do it, that's an argument for another day. But put a little bit of thought into it. You know, this might be one way to do it. A lot of other people, they're doing it like this. And that might be your preferred method. I'm just asking you put a little bit of thought. This way right here, if we're hanging our cords like this, we're putting all the weight on the cord in this one section. We could possibly be damaging this cord over the long haul. Maybe you disagree, that's okay. Just something to think about. So once you figured out how to roll up your cord, it's recommended to store them indoors, out of the elements. This will prolong the life of the cord, not allowing the outer layer to become dried out and cracked. I hope the last few minutes gave you something to think about, maybe save you a little bit of money, and most importantly, help keep you safe. Again, I'm Matt with the NTCA. I hope to see you at one of our training events real soon.